Hello and welcome to Verbal to Visual. I am your host, Doug Neill, and today I'd like to share an update on the course Digital Sketchnoting. This is an online course that I started building last year that's all about how to make the most of the tablet and stylus tool combination for your visual note-taking. In the middle of last year, I hosted a 9-week live workshop series. The full replays of all of those live lessons and office hour sessions, those are all available within Verbal to Visual. And what I most appreciate about that first run through of the course is the quality of the conversations and all of the resource sharing that took place both during those live sessions, but then also based on what folks have been posting to our online learning platform as a follow-up to those live sessions. So throughout those 9 weeks and also ever since then, you'll get to see lots of different app demos and lots of student work. The types of sketch notes that folks have been creating based on what they learned from that workshop series. And to give you a sense for the content of those 9 weeks, here's the course roadmap that we followed. Each week, we tackled a few of the lessons that you see outlined here. And as a whole, we covered a whole lot of ground. And as much as I enjoyed that live workshop format, and as valuable as those replays are, my intent has always been to circle back, revisit those lessons, and then record them again in a shorter, more polished format. And it's that process that I've been calling the rework. I've been using my current favorite app, Concepts, with their infinite canvas, to make notes on all of those lessons that I shared throughout those 9 weeks of live lessons. I watched all of the replays and jotted down a bunch of ideas for improvements that I'd like to make. Here's a little bit of what that Concepts canvas looks like to give you a sense for the number of ideas that came up while watching the replays. If you want to dive deeper into this specific reworking process, you might be interested in another workshop that I hosted a few months back called Turning a Live Workshop into an Evergreen Course. And if you can't already tell, we've been fairly workshop heavy at Verbal to Visual lately. A handful of months back, I actually started incorporating weekly workshops into the flow of regular activities that go on inside of Verbal to Visual. So you've still got plenty of complete at your own pace, polished online courses to work through, but then these weekly live workshops are opportunities to connect live and dive a little bit deeper into specific sketchnoting topics. I've used some of those weekly workshops as opportunities to explore a few topics that we didn't quite get to in the 9-week live version of digital sketchnoting. One of those focused on the type of editing that you can do within sketchnoting apps and how to incorporate moving, rotating, and resizing into your digital sketchnoting process. I also hosted a workshop about creating drawn animations in Keynote and PowerPoint, sharing the process that you see me using here in videos like this. And I also hosted a workshop that focused exclusively on app walkthroughs, showing how I use a couple of my favorite apps, Concepts and Keynote, but then opening it up for other members of Verbal to Visual to share their favorite app and how they use it. My hope with these workshops is that they kind of help to bridge the gap for folks that maybe are waiting for the final version of digital sketchnoting to come out, which I will admit I was hoping to be at that stage already by now, but a couple of things have kind of slowed my progress. One has been the addition of weekly workshops into my routine. I really enjoy creating and hosting those workshops each week, but it has taken some attention away from course building. And I've also been preparing for a major transformation in my personal life. My wife is pregnant with twins who will be entering the world in April. Needless to say, we are super excited and also a little bit scared about what that will look like. We are doing our best to prepare for that. And for me, part of that involves setting up some sort of paternity leave for myself so that I can give my undivided attention to my wife and our 2 boys during their first few months out in the world as we figure out our systems and routines for parenting. So with that in mind, I've been building up a buffer of YouTube videos so that I can continue to publish weekly here. And I've also begun reaching out to some longtime members of Verbal to Visual to serve as guest hosts of our weekly workshops. I think this is actually a fun opportunity for me to pass the mic to other sketchnoters inside Verbal to Visual to share what they've learned and also just host interesting and impactful conversations. So my attention lately has been on getting those two things set up, in addition to some house projects and all of the things needed to be able to take care of a couple of newborns. And as excited as I am to enjoy my time with them during a couple of months of paternity leave, I'll also be excited to get back to it. I've completed the review stage of that rework process, and now I'm ready to enter production mode. So that's what I'll hop back into once I get my fatherhood legs underneath me a little bit. I'll turn my attention to the creation of those shorter and more polished lessons that will make up the final version of the course Digital Sketchnoting. In the meantime, I hope that you enjoy all of those replays that are available, first from that 9-week series, but then also the ongoing weekly workshops. One tip there, if you'd like to increase the pace, note that you can adjust the speed of those videos, maybe watching at 1.5x. That's what I did during the rework process. So I encourage you to explore those lessons, put those ideas to use as you get comfortable with whatever apps you're experimenting with right now, and share your work along the way and ask questions of other community members. There's quite a bit of collective knowledge inside Verbal to Visual that I encourage you to tap into. And though my paternity leave is set up to remove specific time-based commitments, I will continue hopping in here and there to see how things are going and add my 2 cents wherever it seems valuable. Thanks for following along with this journey here, both this journey exploring the powerful and exciting tools that I think can be really impactful for your sketchnoting, and also this journey of mine into fatherhood. I imagine that topics related to parenting will weave their way into the types of things that I am sharing and exploring in sketchnote form. So thanks for being here for all of this. Thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to continuing these explorations and this work in the weeks and months to come. I'll see you in the next video.